Hi, I'm Mike Hamilton. I'm over here at Lithia Toyota Reading, and behind me, I'm featuring a 2021 Toyota Tundra Limited in the Nightshade package. I'll be right back. This is only the second generation of the Tundra that's now been in existence for 21 years. Back in the 90s, Toyota built their first full-size truck and they called it the T100. First idea and name of this truck on the table was the T150, and of course Toyota couldn't do that if they didn't want to have Ford come after them for name rights violations of the F-150. So they thought long and hard, what do they want to call this truck and what does it represent? And they came up with the name Tundra, which now has been synonymous for the most reliable half-ton pickup that's ever been built. And in front of me is a Nightshade package. Nightshade package is in multiple levels or multiple trims now and models of Toyotas. There's like 8 different ones now. It started out when the 4Runner back in 2018 now encompasses a Tacoma. You could get it in a Corolla, Camry, the Tundra, 4Runner, CHR are some of the models that are available. But Toyota's trying to been sprucing up this truck. This particular generation started in 2007 and a half and has had a couple facelifts over the years. Kind of a bigger one. It was something around after the 2013 model year, 2014 kind of starts bringing in this current body style. But the engine, the transmission have all been the same, and the basic overall body has all been the same since 2007 and a half. And a lot of people are very upset that there will no longer be a V8 engine available for any Toyota, to be matter of fact. But the Tundra V8 engine will be going away, and the new engine is going to be a 3.5 liter V6 engine with 2 turbos, and then there's also going to be a hybrid version, which I believe is going to come out a year later. But we're probably within 1 month to 2 months of seeing a brand new 3rd generation Tundra. So let's go over and say goodbye to the last of generation 2 and probably one of the greatest Tundras to be built in this Nightshade package. So coming up forward here, you see the Toyota logo, and behind that is our Toyota Safety Sense. Now this doesn't have an upgraded 2.5 plus. This has a standard system, so it does have smart stop and lane departure. It has pedestrian detection, but not the advanced systems like you could get in a RAV4 and a Camry and a Corolla and the new Highlanders. That will be coming, of course, for the next generation, probably even better. So that will be happening coming in 2020. A lot of complaints that the Toyota headlights were not very good. Now they have LED headlights, LED high beams and low beams, and LED fog lights are on this vehicle. And then we do have parking sonar on front and back. Let's go up and look at the hood here. So there's a little kind of a faux vent in here, just kind of give it a little bit of a more eye appeal. Then you got some creases in the hood, give a little definition. And coming up on the windshield, you have the camera systems for your lane departure, pedestrian detection, and this one is equipped with a standard sunroof, moonroof. Being this is a limited, this rim is 20 inches sitting on Bridgestone tires, but this is the Nightshade package, so you're getting these gloss black rims here. And then we'll move on over and we have our Tundra badging in black. We got our black mirror caps are on this one here. So everything on this one's black. Now the first Nightshades were all black, and I really like it blacked out like this. But there is a couple different colors for Nightshades. They do a Blizzard Pearl, And they do also a silver, I believe, in the Nightshades. I've seen them in the other models. But this one definitely is the one I like the most. This does come with smart key or proximity key. This is the Toyota proximity key or smart key. So you have the 2 notches on the door here. So all you gotta do is put your fingers on these 2 notches. That will unlock it, or lock it, I'm sorry. And then unlock it, and it's just putting your hand on the handle. That unlocks it. And then let's take a look at the passenger side. Lots of storage down underneath, a couple bottle holders on here. We have our leather with our stitching on here, kind of a nickel finish on here. And then we got some faux wood grain accents. This is not real wood, but it looks pretty solid. It looks good. More of that leather up here. One thing that needs to improve, and I'm sure it will in the new generation, is hard dashes. That's a little cheap for so much truck that you're paying for. Seats are nice and bolstered and very comfortable, really big and spacious. Toyota's giving you more cup holders in here, so we got 3 on here. Place to store your cell phone. That will become the new cell phone charging station on the new Tundra. And again, we do have a moonroof and sunroof on this one here. This proximity key should start the vehicle. There should be an app also, but if I should lock and then hold it a 3rd time, should it start this vehicle? There you go. So you have remote start. Let me turn this off here. And so remote start is a trial service through Toyota. After 6 months, you have to pay for the remote start. On the app, it will allow you to roll up your windows, check your fuel levels, turn on and off your climate. You just got to climate control. You just have to get the air to where you want it set. Let's go ahead and go to the back seat here. It's locked, so let me unlock it with the fob. We'll double click it. Again, limited badges in black. And then you have a huge back seat. This has always been what Tundra owners like, especially with kids, taller kids. You can come in here. I'm 6'2", and just a ton of room. I've probably got 8 inches to my knees. No air controls in this here or heated rear seats. Hopefully that's something Toyota's going to look at, because you could get that in some of the other brands like Ford and Ram will have that option available. We got a armrest with 2 cup holders here. Power port, but no USBs, no USB-Cs are here, so I'm sure that's going to be upgraded coming down the road. Down on the floor here, not the lockbox where we store the keys in it, but we have floor mats that are carpeted floor mats, and those are your sliding tie downs that go on the rails in the back in the bed. Toyota typically doesn't just do a black paint and being just black only. There is a blue flake in this paint that's in here too. So now let's go down to the bottom here, and we have the black TRD exhaust tip. Continuing to the back here, we have more parking sonar. This is class 4 tow. It has 4 and 7 pin plugs and tows up to 10,100 pounds. If you get a two-wheel drive option, it could tow to 10,500 pounds. The gate is strut assisted. It won't slam down like a Ford will. Optional is a spray-on bed liner. This one wasn't done, but that's an easy add-on anywhere. If it is done by Toyota, on the bed there next to the window will say Toyota on a plate that they do the like rhino liner over. So definitely I would want to do that if I was getting that, because it's going to get boogered up pretty easy once you start putting things in it. Backup cameras here, and then again everything we have here is black. So they did the black letter insert, so this is stamped in here, so that's an add-on. If some trucks don't get that, they'll just have Tundra and it's just stamped in there, and so on. Coming over to the side here, we have the big fuel capacity in this one here. This thing is a thirsty engine, very, very reliable, works real easy. A lot of these trucks make it to 1,000,000 miles, but you have a 38-gallon tank, which I believe still is the biggest tank, and it's for a half-ton class for how much fuel it could take at 38 gallons. And then up on top we have our shark fin. That's going to be for your Safety Connect and your Sirius XM radio and those things. So let's continue to the front here. Now, this is equipped with blind spot monitors. There is a tow mirror package that's available that could be preferenced by the dealer. In normal times we could get you tow mirrors on this here. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside here. Again, same as the other door, we have, you know, this leather with the stitching, but you got all your controls, your power windows, your power locks are all on here. Our cup bottle holders are down here, and this has JBL premium audio because it says JBL on the speaker. Let's go over to where we have a couple of extra things here. This is pretty cool stuff. You could adjust the headlights here. So if the back's squatting from towing or has something payload in the bed, then you could adjust the lights so you don't blind people. You could adjust those headlights to down. This is your rear window slider, your auto dimming high beams, and your bed light, and this is where your power mirrors are. Let's go ahead and get inside. This does come with dual power seats. It's 4-way power for the passenger. It's 6-way power with power lumbar for the driver. We have all-weather floor mats have already been installed in that, along with the carpeted mats, so it has both sets of mats. Let's go ahead and get her started here. Proximity key, all I need to do is put my foot on the brake, push the start button. Starts right up. Now, this doesn't have power telescopic steering. That is an available option if you have a Platinum or a 1794 edition. Giving you a good look at the gauges here. A lot of old with something that's new. That infotainment or a driver's information center should be much better in the 2022 model year, but we have our big tachometer, a big speedometer, we have voltage meter, fuel, oil pressure, and temperature gauges on there. And then we have our displays for our driver's information center. Let me zoom in on that. And so it's 282 miles to empty. We have 6 miles on the odometer. And let's go over what we have in here. So let me start it over here. So economy, 1 mile per gallon. It's got no mileage, so it's not going to be very good, but even then it's probably going to average about 15. Trip information, digital miles per hour, range is on here. Sway warning, so if you sway too many times it's going to tell you to take a break. And then let's go over to the next screen. Compass coordinates are on here. Radio information is on this display. Then we have our lane departure there, so when those lines light up and turn bright white, which happens at speeds above 32 miles an hour, the camera system's seeing the lines in the road and will alert you that you're leaving your lane. If you leave your lane, then you have adaptive cruise control on here that's available to this vehicle. 3 bars is for 3 seconds of pacing behind a slower vehicle, so it will back itself off and hold that pace behind a slower vehicle. You could do it for 2.5 or 2 seconds. I'm sure the next version will have the lane trace assistance on here and the and much better equipment to this vehicle. This is a pretty archaic Toyota Safety Sense. This is like the basic one that came out probably back in around 2018. No messages. If this vehicle was having a problem, it's going to tell you what's wrong with the vehicle. So if I left the door open, that's going to be some information it's going to tell me. But if I had charging issues or other issues for the low fill, that will come up and that will become my only screen. And then we have just a basic Toyota Safety Sense on here. We have lane departure alert, pre-collision systems here that it will slow down by 30 miles an hour up to speeds of 110 miles an hour, but it feels you're going to collide with a vehicle. It does the same thing with pedestrians and up to speeds of 50 miles an hour. This does come with the blind spot monitors on this one here. Rear cross traffic alerts are a pretty nice thing to have. So when you're backing out of a parking spot, like say at a grocery store, you're coming out blind, you can't see because of the vehicle's blocking you. Your sonar's looking around the corner and it's going to alert you by audibly beeping and then flashing your blind spot mirror what direction somebody walking or a car driving is coming from. And then you have your vehicle settings from there. Let's continue on over to the infotainment screen here. This infotainment, let me back the camera back off a little bit. That infotainment is an 8.1 inch screen. It has integrated maps. The definition got much better in 2020. It used to have a CD player that is no longer available, and the screen used to be 6 inches and less resolution than this. You have integrated maps that are built in there, but you also get connected maps for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto apps. Or if you don't have that, you could use an app that Toyota provides called Scout GPS that you could use to do maps through connected maps. But this one here no longer takes a chip and a satellite updated, so no longer needing to do the chip thing on this one here. Going to your menu here, this is where you'll see the project button. This is where your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will port through. You have information and setup stuff in here. We should have that's just your general information to set up what you want on here, colors and backgrounds, and your general information. We get back into here. We could go into info screen. It has eco traffic alerts here, weather updates. So this works mostly in any real metro. If you live way out in the sticks in the country, you may not have this option. It may not work for you. What I do like, and I hope Toyota does this is touchscreen, but only touchscreen kind of sucks. It's nice to have like physical buttons. So you do have map, audio, menu, home buttons on here, and then tracks and changing seek and phone and apps and all that are all here. So nice hard buttons are available. So going back to the home screen gives you that 3-panel. When you have this, you'll have your radio source, half your maps, and when your phone's connected, it'll show your phone down there. When you're in the Toyota way, you could put 4 quick contacts in there. So typically most people will have a couple of people they talk to often or so. You could just one touch and call them right away instead of having to do Hey Siri or doing the push to talk through the Toyota system. Coming down below, this has always been a classic of Toyotas and the trucks and the SUVs, is these big silver knobs. They have done that for many years. There is a electronic shifter on here, 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high. You can shift it on the fly at like 40-something miles an hour. And then 4-wheel low, it has to be in neutral. There is no center or rear diff lockers in this. This is one thing hopefully they're going to have for the 2022s as a rear diff locker when we're talking about the most off-road capable ones like the TRD Pro. They have something they use now called A-Track that kind of works good, but it's not truly a true diff locker. And then anyways, then coming back over here is where we got our push start here. We got a tow haul button and then built-in trailer brakes. Pretty nice here. This vehicle makes 381 horsepower and 401 foot-pounds, and it's on 430 gear, so it's quite a tow capable. There's a video from years and years ago of one of these towing the space shuttle that weighs well over 200,000 pounds. So it's not really what it could pull as what it could stop, and the brakes just aren't big enough for it to stop something bigger than 10,000 pounds roughly. So that's supposed to be increased significantly, especially with this hybrid one that's going to come out. So you're going to have a 3.5 liter with 2 turbos and a hybrid system. So something the rumor mill is going around that this thing will tow up to 17,000 pounds on the top end and have a fuel economy maybe about 33 miles a gallon, which should be real nice because these things are thirsty engines for sure. We get USB ports. This will be your primary one down here for let me zoom in on that so it's easier to see. So you got your primary for doing Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The other ones are just 2 power ports for charging. We do have a traction control off. That's basically like a snow mode, and parking sonar is here and available. Let me show you the controls on the steering wheel. It's very simple here. We have radio information here, up and down. It's going to change your channels. Side by side is your volume control, and this one's your mode. Push to talk for the Toyota way of doing thing, or you could push for Siri on here, pick up and hang up for your cell phone. This is changing and doing the driver's information center I was showing you a second ago. Back arrow, it's just like a phone. Then you have your adaptive cruise control and your smart stop, your lane departure alert, cruise control sets on there. And then you have that rear window slider there. Let me show you that. This is proprietary to Toyota. There's no trucks out there that have a full window that rolls all the way down, so that's pretty cool. If you got the dogs in the bed and they could be part of the family still, really nice feature. It's one of the coolest things they have. Let's continue on. Gear shifter here. This is still sitting on a 6-speed transmission. The new one's going to 10-speed. It does sequentially shift, and I think they're going to get rid of this whole horseshoe thingamajiggy they've been doing for a while, and it's just going to go straight up and down electronically like you see in the new Camrys and things like that. And it does do sequential shifting too. You have a huge center console here. I'm not going to go open this up, but there is a gentleman's safe that is available for this vehicle. You can get a safe to go in here, and then this is going to become the charging port for the Qi wireless on the new models too. Again, we got like nickel finishes here in plastic and black polished here, wood grains. Really, everything's really tight in. I like these vents. It has a really good AC. And blows really hard here. This hard dash needs to go away. We have up here, let me get in on this here, we have our auto dimming rear view mirror, and it has home link on here for your garage door memory sets that are available on here. And up on top we have our slider. Everybody knows how the a moonroof and sunroof works, so I'm not going to go demonstrate that. We got sunglass holders here, and then we have one more button. This is the SOS button. That's basically OnStar for Toyota. So SOS, if you're in an accident where airbags deploy, it will alert the call center you've been in an accident. They'll be reaching out to you asking if you need help. If you don't respond, they'll at least have your GPS coordinates, how fast you're going at the time of accident, so they could give that information to emergency personnel. It does also on trial services, roadside assistance, and stolen vehicle locator, and you can get some tech support for the vehicle. We have our reading lights on here. The LEDs would be nice, it'd be updated. We have lighted vanity mirrors, again, LEDs would be nice, and then we have sunshades that slide across, so you can get to that spot that seems to always get you while you're driving. Let's go ahead and take this for a little short drive here. I can't say enough about a Tundra. So I got this sitting on a tripod here. They just drive so incredibly nice. They're so quiet. I mean, it's like driving a sedan. They just extremely nice ride, especially in the limiteds and the platinums and the 1794s. They have a really great ride. You get the SR5 with the TRD package. That suspension is very good in them. They also make a limited that has a TRD package, and also the trims of you get TRD off-road suspension, which is Bilstein shocks. But anyway, these just on these 20s, they just drive so nice. It's almost like not driving a truck. So again, the trucks have come so far now from what they used to be, and again, like resale, like this is it. This is the #1 resale vehicle in the half-ton class. So one thing I do notice, and I think it's because of the smog restrictions and things like that this newer Tundras are not as responsive as, like, say, the 2007 and a half through, I'm not even sure, 11, 12. But they were, you get on it and they responded much quicker. And again, you were still dealing with the same powertrain. But the definitely, like, I think even the horsepower and the foot-pounds have come down a little bit over the years, like by just a little bit too. It's like they have to dumb down the engines to meet the there's your lane departure there, so it just told me I crossed over the line. But like, they've dumbed down these engines a little bit to meet the requirements that the EPA is demanding on these vehicles for emissions. So that was been something I've noticed in Tundra owners that have traded up and got out of their, like, second gen that was older into a newer Tundra. Has made that complaint that, hey, this thing isn't quite as fast, but nothing that a dealership could control. But there's always aftermarket solutions to get a vehicle to go faster. So if you want your vehicle to go faster, there's all kinds of options for that. So and then coming into the new 22 Tundras, not sure how quick they're going to be, how responsive they're going to be, but I've heard the horsepowers and the foot-pounds are way more than this truck. So I guess it's going to be definitely how the gear ratios are on them and things like that. But you should have more power, more economy. They should be quicker. Definitely better on the emissions. That's what's why there is going to be a V6 and not a V8 anymore. It's just because they can't beat the fuel economy. And then, like, you living here in California right now, here in September 2021, you're looking at, I'm just going by the gas station, $4.25 for a regular, and then almost $5 a gallon, and we're looking at the premium unleaded there. So again, that's just ridiculously expensive. And so if you're having any kind of commute in this thing, it will be very expensive to drive. But people love their Tundras. They're super kind of a cult vehicle now. People are extremely loyal to this truck. They're just so dang reliable, and then they could sell them after they've had them for 5 or 6 years and not lose very much money. You can't do that with a lot of other vehicles. So that's one of the reasons why they do so well. It's why people love them so much. It's not what a vehicle costs you, is what you pay for it, how much it costs while you own it, and how much you get back when you trade it in or sell it. So that's what a vehicle's overall cost is all those factors. Again, I'm Mike Hamilton, Lithia, Toyota, Redding, California. I don't say I'm sad to see this go. But time is coming. Time is change. Time for change. Time for Generation 3. Time for the better amenities and more upgrades. There's going to be a Crew Max with a regular bed, a 6.5 foot bed instead of just the 5 foot bed. There's going to be tow capacities and much more horsepower and fuel economy, much better amenities, and with the infotainment and other things that are going on that this vehicle's been lacking of. So Toyota will continue to stay relevant in this vehicle, and they believe they're going to have the best truck when it gets built. So we'll see it when it comes out here in a month or two. Thank you again for watching my video. I'm Mike Hamilton. See you later.